record. Okay, so this is day six. Day six, we're going to be covering a lot of stuff here. This is a 2-hour session, just so you guys know. I'm going to be starting off with our finances and business, your goals, setting goals for those areas. I'm going to be talking about finances and what that kind of means to me, or what I kind of discovered over the years. And then after that, I'll be getting into a couple of different strategies and techniques and extra information when it comes down to the things we can use and put into our index. The final thing I do want to cover for sure is just the structure of the folder. Structure of folder. I'll be covering. So I'll be doing finances. I'll go through the structure of the folder. Then I'll be covering other things you can add into the index of the folder. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. So all right. So let's cover this document really quick. I already emailed it to you guys. You guys should have it. So you have the blank document for yourselves to fill in. So let me go ahead and start at the top here. Finances and business. So this section here is, all the sections are important. All the areas of our lives are important. This is a big one. I think this is the one where a lot of us kind of struggle with. This is, to be honest, this is exactly where I struggled for a big chunk of my life, because I just didn't really believe that I really had control of my finances. I believe I can control my spirituality. I control whether I go to church or not, or whether I read information about spirituality, whether I meditate or not. Cool. My health, yeah, of course, I have control of that. It's my body. I control what I consume. I control if I exercise or not. I control how well I manage my stress. My relationships, I know it takes two to really build a relationship, but I knew if I really did my best to commit myself to the relationship and grow and develop and communicate, I really have an influence on that relationship and how much that grows. Myself, my personality, my character. I mean, of course, I have control of that. This is me. This is who I am, right? Who else is gonna control this? And so those things, I was like, I can control all these things, but like the finances, do I really have control of finances? And I'll get into this in just a moment, but growing up in a poor family, it's really difficult to see yourself growing beyond what you've been exposed to pretty much your entire life. It's the struggle of making money, or having money and then having no money. Now it's just seeing your parents, especially in my case, my father, never really being intelligent with money. When it comes down to finances and investments, I never really was taught anything from my parents about money at all. They don't teach you anything in school about money. Everything you learn about money is either through, like, I don't know, through music or through TV shows or movies, and you see people have money and then a lot of people who didn't have money. And this is the only real concept of finances that you really had. And so me growing up and me wanting to have money or wanting to be wealthy and having financial freedom was just a concept that was just foreign to me, incredibly foreign, because again, if I really analyze all the information I was exposed to about finances and money and wealth, it was just very limited. And then this whole idea that we live in a scarce world where money is limited, resources are limited, everything is just, there's limitations to everything, and then it seemed like everybody had all the resources and all the money, and then everybody else was left with nothing. And this is exactly how I grew up, and I think a lot of us grew up this way. And so I felt like I really didn't have any power in making money or creating financial freedom for myself and for my loved ones, right? And so things have changed significantly for me, especially in the past 4 or 5 years, ever since I got into real estate. And so when you approach this, understand you're going to have limiting beliefs. They're going to keep you from really establishing big goals for yourself. But don't be afraid to establish big goals for yourself, especially in this area, because you're worthy. You're worthy of the abundance, of the wealth, of the money. and there's nothing wrong with wanting a lot of money in your life, okay? Because with more money you have, the more you can provide for your family, and the more people you can also help if that is something you choose to do. All right. So let's jump onto this. So we live in a reality where we are completely dependent on currency to provide for ourselves and our families. The concept of finances and currency are things that are very foreign to most people. Finances and currency are more than just money that we earn and spend. Those who are very wealthy study and develop a deep understanding of these two concepts. So if you want to be someone who is wealthy, you will need to start researching finances and currency. And this is something that's very important. You really want to dive into this. There are some great books that I can recommend. There's one book, Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. He covers a lot of stuff about different types of investment vehicles that you can use to make money. And he does a very good job of explaining these things, right? And also going over the mindset of a wealthy person and how you need to change that. That book he wrote, I think he interviewed 20 of the most successful self-made millionaires and billionaires in the world. You know, he interviewed them, and it just by through the interviewing process, he extracted as much information he possibly can for them to understand not only the mindset, but the vehicles that they've used to make money and what they do. And so that's just one book I recommend. There are many, many, many books, trust me. So right here, a couple of questions. What goals do you have for your finances and the amount of money you want to make? What level of wealth do you want to create for yourself and for your family? Making money and creating wealth are two different things, okay? They're not the same thing, right? Wealth is like having real estate and having businesses, right? And having a lot of assets. Making money is how much money are you earning? Usually through your businesses, through cash flow, or through your employment, right? So here's the second section of it, because this is finances and business. So if you are an employee or if you have a business, in order to prosper with either endeavor, you will need to know what you want from it. There are many employers who will have many opportunities for growth, but that growth will most likely be limited. But as a business owner, there really is no limit to your growth. And this should excite you, okay? It should get really, because all of us, right, at this moment, all of us, at least within this group, we're all business owners. And the truth is, when it comes down to your business, there really is no limit to how much money you can earn and how big your business can grow. That the limitations are actually connected to your limitations. The limitations of your growth of your business and the amount of money you make in your business is not really dependent on your business. It's dependent on you, okay? And this is why I focus so much on the psychology part of the business, because I understand that the more you grow as a person, the more your business will grow. Because as you grow as a person, you start overcoming limitations that are programmed into your subconscious. I talk about this all the time, because any limitations in your life are not because the government put a limitation on you, or because some other person put a limitation on you, or the economy put a limitation on you. It's a limitation that you put on yourself. This is important, okay? Especially since us as human beings, we have boundless potential. So if we have boundless and limitless potential, we can grow without any limitation. As at a personal level, but also our business can grow without any limitation. The amount of money we make can grow without any limitation. There are literally people right now who exist who are making millions of dollars on a daily basis. On a daily basis, they're making millions of dollars, okay? And I'm not exaggerating. This is true. All right? So we can get to that level too. What are those people doing? Most of these people do have businesses, and they have multiple businesses, but at the same time, they also have assets and so forth and so on. So we'll get more into that. So right here, A couple of questions specifically that are connected to your business. What goals do you have for your business? What level of growth do you want with your business? Are there other businesses you want to create? You can have more than one business, people, you know? As long as you know how to automate a business, it just runs up by itself on its own, right? With employees and whatever, you can just let it, you're not putting all your time into it. In the beginning, you will. For instance, for real estate, you're going to put a lot of time into it in the beginning, and then eventually you can kind of automate certain things for you where you can save time, right? And that automation will cost you some money, but it's okay. You're paying money to gain time, right? This is why you hire somebody to clean your house, right? As an example, it takes you 2-3 hours to clean your house or whatever, right? However many hours to clean your house and maintain your house throughout the week. But if you want to use your time to be making, say, $1,000 an hour, and it costs you, $100 an hour, or maybe $50 an hour to maintain your house, is that a good trade-off? Of course, it's a good trade-off, because the amount of time you can be spending cleaning your house, you can use that same amount of time to be making, $10,000 a week or whatever, or $20,000 a week, whatever it may be, right? And it's costing you a few hundred bucks a week to clean your home. It's an incredible trade-off. It really is. This is why people get employees, right? If you're one person that owns your business and you're doing everything in your business, dude, you won't have any time to do anything because you're doing literally everything, right? So you hire an employee to do what? To do the things that you used to do. Now they're doing it for you, and you're paying them money for their time, right? But as a result, you save time for yourself, and you can focus on the things that make you more money, right? And you can multiply yourself. This is multiplying yourself. This is called expansion of your business, right? And you have other people doing certain things for you, right? And we'll talk more about that as you continue to grow your business. What can you automate, right? Who can you hire to do certain things for you that's taking a lot of time from you, so you can then take that time and focus on something else, or it's making you more money. So a question here: what do I want to create with my finances and business in 2024? So just focus on 2024. What do you really want? How was 2023 for you? What do you want for 2024? How much do you want to grow? How many deals you want to close? How much money do you want to make? I know it's pretty basic right now. How much do you want your business to grow, right? Do you want to start building a team in 2024? Because you can, and then you can get overrides off of the team, the people you recruit. Or if you want to get into a leadership position in 2024 with real estate, those opportunities are also available to you. And the override is more than just recruiting, right? So what do I desire with my finances and business? Focus my thoughts on what I desire in this area. So this is you getting your thoughts, focus on what you want. Getting your thoughts, focus. I want to close 20 deals this year. I want to make at least $200,000 this year. I want to recruit at least 6 people into my team. I think by the middle of the year, I think I'll be ready for leadership, and I want to take on that leadership position sometime in the middle of 2024. And so again, these are just some examples you can write down here, and what you can focus on when it comes down to your business. Now, what about finances? All right, cool. So if I'm going to be making $200,000 this year, what I really want, I don't need $200,000 to pay for my stuff. I want to take at least half of what I make, and I need to put it somewhere. I need to put it somewhere where it's going to make me some money, right? I want to buy maybe some real estate. If I can just buy some land, there's cheap land in Pueblo West. It costs you between $15,000, maybe up to $25,000 for 1 to 2 acres out there. Pueblo West is growing, it's developing. If I can just put my money in there, that's good. That's better than keeping my money in the bank account, because keeping my money in my bank account isn't gonna allow me to multiply that money. I'm gonna get into money and currency, what that is, in just a moment. But again, this is what I'm talking about here. What do you want? What do you want to do? Finances, business. What do you want to grow? I know, just put some goals here for yourself for 2024. Now, the second section is why. Why do I want my finances and business at this level, right? One thing is, look, I need to save for retirement, right? I want to retire in the next 10 years or whatever. And I need to start making money for retirement. That is my big motivator. I really want to give back to my community. I'm really involved in my church. I love my church. I love the people there. And I see how people give to the church and what the church uses the money to help our city by, providing food for the homeless, or having certain assistances for people who are poor, and so forth and so on. And like, I really want to take at least 10% of everything I make and give it to my church, or take 10% of what I make. I want to take half of that, give it to my church, and the other half I really want to, I don't know, I donated to help somebody in my family that's in need, or something like that, right? A thing that I do, I send money every month to help my mom with, because my sister's managing certain things. So I send it to her. She's helping my mom with certain things. That's how I can contribute. That's perfect. I donate to a couple of different organizations that help feed homeless people, and that help stopping with human trafficking, right? And so that's what I do. And then I have my church, which I send some money there. So I take the 10%, and a little bit is going here, a little bit is going there, a little bit is going here. 10% is fine. The Bible talks about 10% tithing. You can use it the way you want to use it, as long as you feel like you're contributing. And this is a good reason to make a lot of money, because the more money you make, the more people you can help. Period. Done. Right? It's that simple. Do help yourself. Right? You need to help yourself. You need to help yourself. You need to take care of yourself. Retirement is a good reason. Providing for your family is another big reason. You want to have absolute financial freedom for yourself and for your family, so you can do what you love. I want to travel the world and see everything with my family, and that's a big thing for me. Like, I know it's kind of a thing for us only, but that's fine. It drives me, right? This is this part of of your goal setting process, is to really stimulate emotion inside of you, because emotion drives action, and drives this section down here, right? Action. Set a list of actions and schedule them for daily or weekly to-dos. Set time limit for these actions. So what actions can I take to help me get my finances of business at the level that I desire? So there's certain things you can do with your business to really assist you in the growth and development, right? One thing is, hey, I know that for a fact, I need to do more marketing in social media. It's free, it's dirt cheap, it doesn't cost me a lot. I can most definitely post more and do more marketing on social media. I have seen a lot of success for myself in this, and in others as well. I just need to be consistent. I just need to keep going. That's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. You know. So that's one example. What's another one? Um, I need to get better on the phone. I need to really start studying the script and get better on the phone and start making more phone calls. I have leads in my CRM, in my database, that I can definitely call and connect with. I need to get better at this. I need to get better at converting. I need to just get over this fear of calling, because I know it's scary sometimes, because you just don't know what's going to happen. But I need to get over that. And I need to make at least I need to make 20 phone calls, 30 phone calls, 100 phone calls, whatever it is, whatever number, at least per week, right? And this is something you just stick with it. Any system you do with real estate, with your business, any system will provide you with results. I'm just telling you, any system works. We do a lot of Facebook, and we're very consistent with it, and it works for us. Okay, it works for us because we're consistent with it. We don't just do it. We post once, once every week or something like that, and then hopefully somebody will see that post and call me. No, Fedra's posts like an animal, she does. She posts like an animal, like all the time, right? And so my face is all over the place. When I go on Facebook, I don't like going on Facebook, because every other post I see is my face, my face, my face, my face, whew, all right. And I'm liking everything. Of course, we have to like it, so to push it to the top. But like, I'm just tired of saying I don't go on Facebook anymore, because I see my shit all the time. And I know it's Fedra, like, all right, good job, babe. You're working, bro. Do we get results? Absolutely, and you guys can as well. I've seen you guys get results. You guys have seen yourselves get results with Facebook. So keep on doing it. So make that a part of it. Phone calls, mastering the script. Hey, It's great that you're getting people to call you, but do you know how to manage the conversation so you can convert them into a client? Do you know how to handle objections? I'm going to get deeper into the script, handling objections, and other types of conversations you'll end up having with different people that are not just leads. The next year for sure. You know, I'm going to incorporate it into our weekly, into our weekly meetings and trainings, so we can continue to just hammer the script, managing conversations or handling the conversations, and so forth and so on, because that really changes everything. Look, it's great that you're getting 5 leads per week on Facebook. It's amazing. They're calling you and everything. But do you know how to handle that conversation in a way to convert them into a client? Just because they called you, it doesn't mean that they're your client, that they're going to work with you, that you're going to close them and make money off of them. If you don't know how to handle these conversations, it doesn't mean anything, right? If you're not converting these leads into clients, who gives a F if you get 5 people calling you per week off a Facebook post, right? The second they throw an objection at you and you don't know how to handle it, you're probably going to lose that lead. And so you want to make it a part of your weekly schedule to improve on your phone skills, specifically on that script, on handling objections, okay? This is why I need to also make it a part of our training to work on this with you, okay? To assist you with that, all right? Because it is important. All right, so you have, so those are two things you can add in there as well. What else can you add in there? Well, you know, maybe you want to do more door knocking, right? And you want to pass out flyers, you know, like you hear about this, cool, use it then. Like there's so many different strategies when it comes down to for lead generation and converting leads. You want to use it. So what about one home text messages? You have the CRM, you have the website, your specific website with your name on it, that leads people to your website. And if they actually register through your website, it goes into your CRM, and there you go. That's more leads for you. But again, all this different lead generation is great, you know, door knock and everything. But what are you going to say? How does that conversation look? You know, how are you going to be able to convert this potential lead into a client by talking to them, right? Because everything comes down to the conversation, people, 100% of the time, you know, it's like, that's it. Lead generation is great, but not knowing how to convert leads into clients doesn't, it's not going to help you. If you don't know how to do it, you won't be making any money. Okay. You're just going to have a lot of leads. So remember that. Remember that. So whatever it is you're going to put here, say for instance, you want to improve your understanding of finances and talking about different types of investments and assets you can put your money in. Great. You know, once a month, I'm going to read a book on investments or finances or whatever. Put it in here, right? Add it into your to-dos, right? Start educating yourself on finances and on investment assets or investment vehicles, because there's so many out there. Where should you put your money? That's a good question. That's a $1 million question, people. Everybody wants to know where to put their money, right? So start investigating that, researching that, so you know where to put your money. Okay, when you start making it, and it's good to start now. Don't start doing research once you have money, because you're going to have all this money. You're not going to know where to put it, right? Start doing the research now, so when you start making that money, then you already have an idea. Okay, I could put some in Bitcoin. I'm going to put some in the stock market. I can probably buy some cheap land in different parts of Colorado where maybe the economy is where it's growing and developing, right? Cool, great. Now you have a plan where to put your money because you've done the research necessary prior to getting that money. So once you make that money, you know how to segment it, right? And then you have a power quote here. Wealth and money are tools I can use to create absolute financial freedom for myself and my family. There is no limit to the level of wealth and money I can create in my life. There is more than enough wealth and money in the world for all of us to have. There is no such thing as scarcity. This word right here, scarcity, I think what happens to the people who have that poor mindset, they really start believing in scarcity. They really do believe that money is limited, and that resources are limited. And what worse than that, they believe that all the rich have all the money and have all the resources, and they leave them with nothing. This isn't true. Scarcity is false. Scarcity isn't reality. Okay. If if divine consciousness, if God is infinite and abundant, everything it creates is then infinite and abundant. This earth is can create it creates abundance for all of us. There's more than enough food in this world to feed every single person on this planet. We produce more than enough food in this country alone to feed the entire population of this planet. But yet we burn half of it, and then the other half that is put into the market is thrown away. It's terrible. It's a terrible system, right? There is no such thing as scarcity. Money is abundant. Resources are abundant, more than enough for everybody. If they took every person on this planet, 8 billion people, and you put them right next to each other, we would all fit in the size of Manhattan, okay? All there. If they were to give everybody 1 acre of land, they would probably take up the space of North Africa, right? So you have the rest of the planet that's empty. There is no such thing as scarcity. There is no such thing as overpopulation. There is no such thing as not enough for everybody. There is abundance is reality. But they condition us to believe in this word, scarcity. All right, so this is what you guys want to fill out for yourself. This is your section, the final section before the index. All right. So let's talk about the structure of this folder. So we've talked about, let me see here. Go back here. So in section 1, we talked about section 1. What you want to start off with is with your daily affirmation, right? Sorry, so your morning statement. So this is your morning statement, right? This is section 1. So this will be the first thing you see in your folder, right? And then section 2 will be your daily affirmations, okay? Those are the first 2 sections. And those 2 sections you want to review every single day for sure, right? Right when you wake up, be the best thing to look at right there. And in section 2, you're going to have the areas of your life, okay? The areas of your life, I'll open these really quick. And I would also, this example, yeah, it'll be these 2. So it'll be these 2 right here. So it'll be the areas of your life. It'll be section 3. And then if you want to, you can add this picture to kind of these pictures to kind of like give you that understanding of what I mean by the areas of your life and how it affects your overall life, and how if you grow in the areas of your life, it actually improves, it moves you towards your ideal life conditions. Okay. You can add this in there just to kind of have this pictorial, this image that kind of gives you this understanding of what I mean by the areas of your life and how that affects you. And then after that, you're going to get into the areas of your life specifically per section. So I know the first section we covered was my health, your personality, your relationships, spirituality, and then today we did finances, right? So if you have 1, 2, 3 sections, then you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are all 8 sections that we have that are part of your folder. Okay, 8 sections. And then the 9th section, it'll be, well, you can call it the index. Okay. In the index, this is where you're going to put like notes of different things that you come across. We talked about a couple of things yesterday. We talked about one, is say the strategy of changing behavior, right? We talked about that yesterday, right? So that'll be something you're going to want to put in there, or this one right here, the strategy of changing behavior, right? This is cool. Go put it in your index. This is a strategy you can use to assist you in changing certain behaviors in your life. put in your index. Okay. We did the other one too, which was a hyper focus. Here, hyper focus technique, right? Another strategy that you can use to assist you on improving the quality of your life. Everything is going to be connected with improving the quality of your life, taking control of your own thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. You moving your life in the direction that you want it to move, as opposed to where the environment is telling you to go. Okay. Again, the environment doesn't really care about your well-being, about your overall quality of life. The environment cares more about profit. All right. I know we talked about health the other day. I mean, the system has been designed in a way to maximize profit. They're not trying to maximize the health of the population. They don't care about the health of the population. They care about making money. This is a part of the environment, just so you know. The medical industry, the food industry, the government, they're all involved with this. Because why? Because they're focused on profit, 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 not the well-being of a population. Okay. This is why there's 10,000 ingredients that are put into the foods in America that are illegal in, for instance, European countries. Interesting, isn't it? So let's continue on here. So the index is that, the 6 human needs. This is definitely what you're going to want to put into your index, right? We covered this yesterday. 6 human needs. Put it into your index. This is extra information for you, all right? For you. Anytime you come across information like, dude, that's really good. I like that. Write it down, take note of it. And then, okay, so where do I put it? Your folder, okay? Put it in there. It's designed for that. That's why I designed this folder, because I designed it in a way where like I come across new information all the time. I don't know where to put it. Do I just like fold it up in the little note and just like put it in my pocket? No, put it in your folder. And then when you review your folder on a, say, a daily basis, right? Maybe you commit, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes of your morning to review your folder. Great. The information is there and you review it. Oh, it's like, dude, the six human needs. I remember, yeah, I came across this when I was reading that book by Tony Robbins. I thought it was amazing. Yeah, they're right here. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, certainty, uncertainty, variety, love and connection, significance, growth and contribution. These are all needs that every person in this world needs. You know, we're required to have these, to meet all of these, right? And you can apply it to your life. You know, like, I wonder how this is with my relationship with my wife. Do I have certainty with my wife? Yeah, I mean, I know, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I know she's not going anywhere. There's that certainty of that relationship is going to always be there, right? Uncertainty, variety. Yeah, you know, I try to be kind of like fun with her and joke around with her. I'll buy her flowers every now and then. We'll have our little date nights. And so we keep that variety there, right? We'll go to shows, we'll do different things. Love and connection. Definitely. We do have that love and connection in our marriage, which is awesome. Significance. I feel very significant to be her husband, you know, and she feels significant to be my wife. Hopefully, you know, hopefully she does. But, and then there's growth. Is there growth? Yes, absolutely. You know, we've been together for 15 years. We've grown significantly over these years. And contribution. Yes, I do my best to contribute in our relationship, in our marriage, and she does as well. And so boom, you know, like this is key. This is what I'm talking about. These are notes. This is information that helps you. Use it. Okay, use it. All right, so that's the structure there. What I would do if with you guys with these folders, since you have so much information in there, I don't suggest you review all the information every single day, all the time. I don't suggest you do that. Okay, I don't suggest you do that. I would do it this way, or this is how I do it, because my folder has has a ton of information. I can't review it daily. I'd literally be there for hours reviewing all the information in my folder. It's just too much. So what I do is I do 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's it. I do 10 to 15 minutes a day reviewing my folder. 10 to 15 minutes a day. I'll start from the beginning. All right. I start from the beginning with my morning statement, my affirmations, right? Those two things I do every day. I don't miss those two things, right? And then I'll go to the next section, which is areas of my life. And then I'll go into the first area of my life, which will be my health. It's actually my spirituality in my case. And then my health and my personality. And then it's my relationships, and then it's finances, right? And then it's the index. Now, The first two sections I do every day. It'll probably take me a few minutes to go through those two sections. And then I start reading through the other, I go through the areas of my life. These are the areas of my life. Okay, I start my spirituality. I get through my spirituality, and then my 10 minutes is up. 15 minutes is up. I put a bookmark right there and I close it. And then the next day, I put another 10 minutes on the clock. All right, I review my morning statement, my affirmations, and then I go where the bookmark was. I finished with spirituality. I'm starting now with my health. So I review my health, then I can get to the next section. I review my personality and my character, and I go to the next section, and 10 minutes is up. I put a bookmark in there and I close it. And then the next day comes around. I wake up, I do my morning statement, I do my affirmations, I go to the bookmark. I ended up with my I already forgot where, of my relationships. I review my relationships. I go to the next section. I review my finances, and I have enough time to get into the first part of my index. And I review the index, the first part, and then my 10 minutes is up. I put a bookmark in there and I close it. The next day comes. I open up my folder. I review my morning statement. I review my affirmations. Go to where the bookmark is. I was in the middle of my index. I have like probably 5 pages in my index. So I start reviewing the rest of my index. And then if I finish all my index there, cool. I start again from the beginning the next day. And I go my morning statement, affirmations, areas of my life, spirituality. And so I'm reviewing it daily. Why do I do this? Because I want to program myself into believing this stuff. That's why, okay? I want to program myself at a subconscious level so then I can start living by this information automatically. I'm not thinking about it anymore. It's just boom. It's just, this is who I am. This is what I do. So this is why I do what I do. Okay. You really want to change your life, you have to review this information daily, right? And as long as you make it consistent, you don't have to be there for hours. What's 10 minutes out of your day? It's nothing, okay? You spend more time on the toilet. Just review this information, okay? Review it. If you're on the toilet, take it with you. It works. Trust me. All right, let's talk about money. All right. Money is energy. All right. We have this weird concept about money. Like, I'm telling you, you guys probably grew up in a family that wasn't very wealthy, like me. I grew up in a poor family. I can tell you right now, we were not wealthy. Okay. My father struggled with money. He'd make money and then he didn't know what to do with it. He'd spend it all. People would scam him for it. He'd lose it. It was all gone. And then he'd get money, and then the same thing. It was just this cycle, up and down, up and down. And I saw it as a child. We have money sometimes, we have nothing. It was sad. It was just like, and I obviously as a kid, you don't understand, you don't know what's going on. It's just what it is, right? And I'm just being honest. This is how I grew up. I didn't have a role model in my life or somebody who taught me about money. School doesn't teach you about money. I learned about money through, I don't know, sometimes through music, through TV shows and movies. But all I really saw was that people had money and a bunch of people didn't have any money, right? I'm like, why do they have money and they don't? Just questions you ask yourself as a child, right? I grew up not really knowing this stuff. And so I have no idea what money was. I had no idea what money was. I got into my 20s. I'd make money, then spend it all, lose money. I didn't know where to put my money. I didn't know about investing. I didn't know about finances. I didn't know about anything. Okay. Nothing. Everything I've learned has been through me reading books, reading books, reading books, reading books. That's it. All the information is out there. You just have to, you yourself as an individual, you have to do the research yourself, period. Money is energy. All right. Money is energy. If you read through all this stuff, there's plenty: receive, security, barter, service, invest, abundance, success, a bunch of stuff is in here. But more than anything, money is energy. All right. Money has to flow. This is why they call it currency. What is a current? A current is something that flows, isn't it? They call it currency because money is worthless when it's just stuck in a bank account. All right. When the economy is expanding and growing, it's because money is flowing, 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 flowing. Currency is doing what it's supposed to do, flow, right? It's going into the market, and it's going, so you're buying services and products, and those services and products help businesses grow and expand themselves. You're putting money into assets, and these assets, as they grow and expand and everything, they make you more money because they grow they grow interest, right? They grow in equity, right? It has to flow. The poor are taught to save their money. The rich are taught to invest their money. There's a big difference there, a huge difference, especially especially with the ability for you to create wealth for yourself and for your family. Okay, money needs to flow. If it's just stuck somewhere, what happens in an economy that is not growing and expanding is that nobody is spending money, right? I have a great affirmation. All the money that I put into circulation into the market comes back to me multiplied, 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 right? You can say multiplied by 1,000, multiplied by 1,000,000, multiplied by 1,000,000,000. I don't care what you use something, but all the money I put into circulation into the market comes back to me 1,000,000 times 1,000,000, 1,000 times 1,000, 1,000,000,000 times 1,000,000,000. I know when I spend money, I'm helping this economy grow. I know that. And so I don't hesitate to really spend. I spend within my means, but I don't hesitate to spend. And I don't complain about spending. Do not complain about spending money. Okay? Don't. Something I used to do. And I stopped doing it because it just didn't serve me. Okay? I spend money, I swipe that card, I say it right there in my head. All the money I put into circulation, into the market, comes back to me, multiplied by 1,000%, 1,000,000%, 1,000,000,000%. You know, I just maximize the money. It comes back to you. It flows back. It does. This is how it works, right? Especially when you put it into investments. So money is designed to multiply, multiply, multiply. Okay, you can multiply your money. You absolutely can, but it can only really be done when you invest the money. You want to invest money into assets. Okay, so during 2024, with the $200,000 you're going to make by the end of the year, what percentage of that do you want to invest? So here's a rule of thumb for that I can give you guys. You don't have to follow this. You can adjust it as you like, but here we are. 10% should always be invested at the very least. If you want to invest more you have more because you're so blessed, and invest more, right? Now the question is what to invest in. That's a good question, right? It's not something I can really tell you to do, but I'll talk about a couple of things before I get into the next section, just to give you an idea of where you can maybe start doing some research, okay? But 10%, 10%, at least 10% invest, please, 10% invest, okay? Now, 10%, if you want to, should be donated, okay? Should go to charity, 10%, okay? Now, if that's too much for you for now, then at least do 5%. And this is 5% of the money you make, okay? If you made, they say you made $10,000, 10% is $1,000. 5% is $500, right? So, there, just give you an idea. But you should give back. Why is that? Well, like I said, the more money, the money you put into circulation, into the market comes back to you, right? Multiplied. So the money you give into charity, as you give to help, more comes back to you to help, right? And the 12 universal laws state this, right? The law of oneness. We're all just one big consciousness, seemingly separated, right? The more you help other people, the more you're really helping yourself. The law of cause and effect states that whatever you put out into the world comes back to you. So as you put money out there to help other people, it comes back to you. You have the law of where's the law of where the law where whatever you put out that's good comes back to you. You have that law as well. You're executing that law, right? It's not coming to my head, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So the more you help yourself, okay? Put just whatever you can, whatever within your own means, put whatever you can out there to help other people, okay? There are many charities out there to help people. There's charities out there that help feed homeless. There's charity out there that help fight human trafficking. Okay. There's, if you're a part of a church and you really believe in what they're doing in the city, in your community, you can go ahead and give money there. If there's people in your family that you know need help, hey, go ahead and send them a little bit of money every month. You know, I do that for my mom every month. So there's many different ways to give back. Just find one. 10% should be the maximum you give back, right? Now, as you make more money in the future, you can bring it up to 10% to 15%, 20%. By all means, do it. You're going to realize that your growth in your finances is actually proportional to the amount of money you give back or how many people you help in this world. It is proportional to that. You will discover this on your own. Investing, at least 10%. If you can do more, right? Do more. It's fine. You don't need to go out and buy yourself a Mercedes, right? Because you start making $200,000 a year. You know, stick with the car that you got for now. You know, once you get beyond your means, then go for it. But for me, like, especially if you're older and you really gotta get yourself prepared for retirement, I'd be putting more money into that investment as much as you possibly can, right? So money will multiply itself, okay, if you put it into the correct assets. Now, one thing about this economy is that it goes in cycles. I'm trying to find something here. Oh, there it is. Cool. I just couldn't see it. Okay, so let me just get the economy here. Cycles of economy. All right. So the economy kind of looks like this when it's in cycles. Let me try to get something here. There you go, because I need to draw. All right, cool. Here we are. So you have the expansion part of the economy, you have the peak part of the economy, and then you have the recession or the compression part of the economy. You have the bottoming of the economy, and then you're back to an expansion again. This cycle, you see it all the freaking time, all the time, okay? And the overall movement of the economy is upward, as you've seen, right? The growth of the economy is usually upward, right? There's very few economies that have been condensed or going to the right side. Like Japan's economy has been doing this, just going kind of like stagnant for the past like 20 plus years. Why exactly? I don't really know why. It has to do something with population growth and things like that. But there's many things that influence the growth or the compression of economies. But this is what it looks like, people. Now, this is what's happening right here with us. All right. At least this is how I've seen it. So when the interest rates were down, all that we saw. Now, we kind of peaked and we went down a little bit here if we're talking about, say, prices in real estate, because every sector of the economy acts a little differently. They're somewhat, synced, but in the reality, they're not perfectly synced, right? Now, in some parts of the country, the prices dropped significantly, right? For us, it really didn't. We saw maybe like between the 10% to maybe at the very, very most, a 25% drop in prices, depending on what part of Colorado we're referring to. But for the most part, it was closer to like a 10 to 15% drop, right? The exaggerated places were about 25%, but it really just depended on the area, right? So we saw a drop. If interest rates are really going to start dropping next year, we're probably going to start seeing this expansion again, right? But what's interesting, even during this whole time right here, this whole compression, you know what's been happening? They've still been building houses, apartments, commercial, restaurants, shops. Like if you live in Denver, Colorado Springs, even in the Pueblo area, and you just drive around, There's like, no matter where you go, you're going to see construction, construction, construction. Real estate, think of it as real estate as the heart of the economy. If real estate drops, it affects everything. Everything. I'm talking about materials. I'm talking about like labor. I'm talking about services, right? I mean, there's so much that goes into building that we're not even aware of, about like banking, right? Giving loans, providing loans. It affects our the service sector that we provide, right? For us, everything. It affects so much. Next year, this is what we're anticipating. This year, trust me, a lot of people struggled this year significantly. Significantly. So we if you struggle, that's okay. If you keep going, by the time you get into next year, everything you learned this year through the struggles you went through, because you're pretty much going through this little recession part or compression part of the economy, you learn a lot. You learn so much. I've been doing this since 2019, right? In 2020, we had the whole thing with the pandemic. So the economy was kind of weird, but interest rates were really low. Everybody was still buying houses. So it was just, I don't know, it was a weird ass time for the economy, you know? But we're still expanding. We're right here. We're through this expansion part of the economy. It was just growing, 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 growing. So it basically started, 2008 happened, everything dropped. And then right around probably 2013, 2014, 2015, things started growing and expanding, you know, growing and expanding, growing and expanding. And so we just been growing and expanding uh, since then, right? We've been growing and expanding since then. And so we've been going through all of this. There's a little bump here. Now we're going to probably go back up again. Now this expansion is probably going to continue. Eventually, this expansion will have to come to a halt, but it's okay. Look, one thing you need to understand about this, about any business, especially about real estate, is that during an expansion, there's certain type of strategies that will help you grow your business, okay? And it's really easy here. You just got to be there. I remember when I started back in 2020, it was just easy. Once I got a client, they were good to go, and I put the offer in, it get accepted. Like I was a new agent, I was like, okay, now what do I do? Oh, okay, cool. Inspection and stuff like that. And it's like, but every offer I put in, it would just get accepted. It would just get accepted. It was so easy. It was like, man, this is real estate is easy. Now, that was for 2020, right? I remember from the end of 2020, like around December, all the way to 2021. This was all the way to 2021 to March, right? March. All of December, January, and February, because interest rates are still low during this time, but it was winter and inventory dropped. Inventory dropped by a lot. I mean, it was a lot. And I had a lot of people who were pre-approved. I was from December, January, and February, I was putting offers in, at least 4 or 5 offers in every single week for my clients. I had clients with me that were looking for months. For December, January, and February, I didn't get anybody under contract. Nobody. I mean, zero. Okay. For 3 full months. Prior to that, it was just easy to get people under contract because inventory was high. The demand was there, you know, but we had enough inventory, so it was easy to find houses for people, right? But the second inventory dropped, the competition increased significantly, and appraisal gaps and the offering $20,000, $30,000 over, all this stuff started happening, and we had to change our strategies to be able to win these offers, right? So all these months, bro, nothing. Luckily, I had a great 2020. I made $200,000 that year. My December, I made $85,000, right? That I closed. So I was good with money. I wasn't struggling or anything. But the whole time, what's interesting is that I was never discouraged. I was like, dude, I have a lot of clients They're motivated. I'm motivated. I'm gonna explode, bro. I know I'm gonna explode too. Come March 2021, I get 10 clients under contract because I just kept going. There was just this weird little recession going on. It wasn't a recession, it was just a drop in inventory. People were still buying, interest rates were still low. It was just an adjustment. I needed to change my strategies, right? Strategies during this time, right? It's all about strategies, people. We can't control the economy, but we can control the strategies that we use during different times of the economy. And this is it. You have four sections. You have the expansion part, you have the peak part, you have the recession part or the compression part, and then you have the bottoming part, right? That's it. So in each of these different areas of the economy, you just got to use different strategies to be successful. That's it. But more importantly, you got to believe. And I think that's what I was using all the strategies during this time, during December, January, February. I was using all the strategies, you know. But I think the biggest thing that was really pushing me to do is to believe and to get my clients to believe as well. Okay. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, in my client, like I would just tell my clients, hey, look, we didn't get this one, but I know the house that's waiting for you, that's for you is waiting for you out there. So, I mean, we're just gonna keep going, okay? And they're okay, got it. No, thank you, no problem. And then what's interesting, I was like, dude, he submitted like 30 offers, none of them got accepted. And then they're telling me when you don't get accepted for the 31st time, they're telling me, hey, no problem. The house that's for me is waiting for me. We'll just keep going. And I was like, hell yeah, bro. Fuck yeah, thank you. You know, that's what I learned from that time. You know, because I was doing all the right strategies. It was pretty tough, right? And so we just had to keep going. And come March 2021, I got 10 under contract. So this is how it works. More than anything, you got to believe. And then you have to adjust your strategies. A lot of people this year for 2023 didn't do very well. A lot of agents quit, but they weren't using the right strategies to be successful. They didn't believe more than anything. Their language was off. They were talking about the rates, they're so high, no one's buying. And I'd be fucking closing 4, 5, 6 deals a month consistently. I'm like, well, all right, that's whatever you say, bro. Like, if that's what you believe, I don't fucking believe that. Well, yeah, rates are high, but it's the best time to buy because prices are stable. You can buy a house for a fair price. I'm not freaking here in 2021 and 2022 where everybody and their mom was buying houses and you had to do appraisal gaps and offer $50,000 over and do all this stuff. Like, no, I'd rather have this market here. Interest rates aren't high. They're high compared to 3%, but 6, 7, 8%, those are normal interest rates, just so you know, if you really look at the history of mortgages. And so since I understood that, my mindset was always excited and enthusiastic about the market. But these people weren't, and they manifested exactly what they believed. No one's buying houses, and they don't close any deals. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's your listen to your language. You're manifesting what you're saying, right? So that's how it was for those people. But those people were those people. With my team here, with you guys, I preached this the whole year, didn't I? The whole year I preached this to you guys. Here we are at the end of 2023, right? 2024 is coming around. You guys still have your licenses. You guys got some experience this year. I know you may have not had the year that you really wanted this year, but 2024, this is where everything changes for you. People are going to be buying houses a lot more. And since you're already positioned now, you're already marketing, your face is out there and everything. Now that people see that, oh, interest rates are low, they're going to start calling you. You're going to see, they're going to start calling you. And it's going to be very exciting. You should be very excited for 2024. I'm very excited for myself and for all of you for the expansion we're going to have, the growth we're going to have in 2024, because we're going to grow, all right? We need to take advantage. When this is happening, this is, again, you have to kind of think of this as the seasons, right? The seasons of the market, the seasons, like you have summer, fall, winter, right? And spring. Spring is coming, people. We got through winter already. This whole year was winter. Okay. This whole year for some people were winter. Now, for some people it wasn't. Like I luckily by the end of this year, we closed almost 50 deals. Just me at a personal level. As a team, even more, right? But here, we got through this. We're gonna get to this bottom, which is pretty much where we're at because interest rates have peaked. This is pretty much equivalent to this for us in our industry, and this is what 2024 is going to look like. 2024, baby, hell yeah! You should be very excited for 2024 for this expansion. All right, take advantage. You're going to make a lot of money next year. I know that you are. All this year, you've been marketing, you've been out there, you've been doing stuff, you've been talking to people and all this stuff. Yeah, you may not have the amount of closes you wanted this year. That's fine. But those people still remember you. Those people are still seeing your face on Facebook and the marketing. Keep marketing, keep keeping your face out there because all these other agents that have quit and that stopped investing in their marketing, that's just completely are out of the picture. There's less agents now, which means there's more opportunity for us once this happens. Because what happens is that everybody starts seeing, oh my gosh, there's an expansion in the market. All right, now I'm going to go get my license and start working in real estate. That's what happens. They get into it here, but we're starting down here. So this is what excites me more than anything. All of us, we're going to start right here at the bottom, and we're gonna capitalize on all of this growth all the way till it peaks. This is exciting. A lot of people are going to come in here, or maybe even here, or maybe even here. And so they're going to capitalize from here to here. But for us, we're going to capitalize from the bottom of the market all the way to the top, whatever that is, and whenever that is. Okay. So you better be prepared. Okay. Better be prepared. If you're going to take a break by the end, like during the end of this year, so you can just kind of prepare yourself for next year. Okay. Because next year we're going to blow the fuck up and it's going to be awesome. Okay. So that's my hour with finances. Is there more? Of course, there's so much more. But I highly encourage every single one of you to start studying. Okay. Now I'll give you a couple of areas to study if you guys are interested in studying. And hopefully the answer is yes. Well, I'm very interested, Rick. Please give me more information because I'm hungry for information, especially when it comes down to finances. So you really want to research something. What is money? Okay. What is money? What is money? What is money? Because what we understand money is very different than what it actually really truly is. Okay. So what is money, right? What are some good books? Let me look here. So books on money and banking. Whew. These are two things you guys really want to understand. So here are a bunch of books here. So the psychology of money is actually probably going to be one of the good ones you want to get into. Central banking is another big one. You know, psychology of money, central banking. These two books will give you so much information on it, right? Because again, you really need to understand what it is because we have this misconception of it. Even though I've kind of like talked to you about money is currency and it has a flow and all this stuff, subconsciously you still have your certain beliefs about money that are going to hold you back. They're going to limit you from your expansion. Okay. Now, I would suggest you also learn about real estate investment. You know, one thing we're in real estate, which is great, but real estate investing is something you really want to get into. All people who are incredibly wealthy are invest in real estate. They have money in real estate. This guy, Robert Kiyosaki, is a really good one. Rich Dad Poor Dad is another great book by him. A Millionaire Real Estate Investor. This is another big one as well. Okay, I would definitely start looking into investing in real estate. Diversification of investments is one thing you really want to do. Don't put all your money in real estate, right? Don't put all your money in the stock market, right? Don't put all your money in Bitcoin. You want to put some in real estate, some in stocks, some in Bitcoin. Okay, that's called diversification. Even when you put it in stocks, you want to diversify across different sectors of the stock market. So another good one is stock investing. So you can pull some of these here, right?
I think stocks for the long run, and that's one thing. You have intelligent investor. This is Warren Buffett. I mean, that guy, is worth billions. So stock investing and trading. There isn't a difference between trading and investing. Trading is short term. Investing is long term. There's day traders. People who go in for maybe a few minutes and come out. Like I've seen people do this and make some money, get out really quick and all this stuff. And then you hold for years, right? But you have to know how to read the books. You have to know how to read numbers and things like that. It's intensive. And then I think the other one, it's in my opinion, is going to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin is is probably going to be the next currency if we're going to be shifting everything to digital. But this currency is going to allow us to still be um, this what's the word I'm looking for? Because they're shifting to into a digital currency, right? The government's trying to do that. They call it the Fed coin, right? But there are some benefits and some disadvantages to that. One of the disadvantages is that if the government ever chose to, they can hold your money. They can halt it. They can do it now with your bank. You have a bank account, and the government's like, well, I'm going to freeze your bank account. They can do it. It's your money. They can freeze it. But if you have cash, they can't freeze your cash. But if they shift everything to a digital currency, cash doesn't mean anything anymore. You can't buy anything with cash. So what happens then? You're fully dependent on that digital currency. And if they choose to freeze it, you are screwed. So why would they ever freeze it? Say for instance, they come out with some law saying that, everybody has to get the vaccination, right? You're forced to. And if you don't, those who don't get a vaccination, we're going to freeze your money. Is this freedom or is this tyranny? Is that a democracy or is them controlling you? So this is just an example. I can give other examples, but I think that's a big one, right? We've seen this happen and it's scary. We don't want to give them that power. That's what we as people don't need to give them that power. Bitcoin is a better option. Why? Because nobody controls Bitcoin. No one can freeze your Bitcoin. And right now, you can go to places and pay with Bitcoin, just so you know. It's already being used as a currency. So I suggest look into it. I don't know. The Bitcoin halving is going to be happening sometime this year. What is that? That's a good thing to research, right? Bitcoin is already acting as a currency for many people. Some countries are even making Bitcoin their currency or backed by Bitcoin. And so a lot of things are changing in this world. But we need to be updated with this stuff. The rich see what's happening and they know where to put their money, right? I'm not at the level that they are. I'm not, but I understand that I do have to do my research and understand this stuff because if I don't, I'm going to be XRP. Yeah, that's another one. I would invest in XRP as well. Do research on XRP. I own Bitcoin and XRP right now. Ripple XRP. Why is this one important? Well, all the banks are kind of like creating their digital currency, but they're all going to be using XRP as their ledger to assist the transfer of this money. It gets really complicated. It gets really complicated in there. But XRP is the key here. There's been that SEC case of Ripple for the past couple of years, right? And so there are no coincidences. They're planning something. They've been planning something for the past. They've been planning for this for the past, I don't know, 7-10 years probably. And so they're getting to the point where they're starting to make that shift. Start doing your research. I know it's a lot. Trust me, it's a lot more than. But going to YouTube and just listening to a couple different podcasts that talk about these things to give you an idea of what these things are and what's going on is I think it's going to be very helpful for all of you. All right. Okay. So, man, that was a lot, right? We still have a bit more time to go because I'll be into this at 10:30. What I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna actually 12. So let me pull this up again here. Images. Where's one that I was using? This one. All right. I kind of reviewed this one again yesterday. I wanted to kind of make some point. I made some points yesterday. Things I'm open. Oh, there it is. 12 universal laws. Let me see if I can get this one open here. No, I just need an image. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Boom. Here, I'll open it here really quick because I have it right here. So I emphasized more on this one yesterday. I know that I've been like hammering these into your into you guys for a while, but you know, I wanted to make one more point about these 12 universal laws that I feel that are incredibly important, but more than that, that I feel that it's going to really help you guys to further understand your own, basically your own reality. Okay. So, so the 12 universal laws. So I talked yesterday about how successful people, they take responsibility for everything, right? Everything that happens in their life. They don't blame other people for what happens to them. Even though it seemingly looks like it was the other person's fault, they don't blame other people for their problems. They don't. They never will. They take full responsibility. And if you fully understand these 12 universal laws, you're going to understand that, damn, that is true. That's 100% true. Everything you manifest into your life, the good and the bad, has been manifested by the self. All the challenges have been manifested by the self. The challenges are good because the law of relativity state that you will face challenges, okay? And those challenges are actually there to help you grow. And I've talked about this many, many times with you. And this is analogous to the 12 universal laws. So when something happens to them, say they get hit by their car gets hit by a drunk driver, they're not blaming the drunk driver. They're just taking responsibility, not so much by blaming themselves, because blame doesn't fix anything. What they're asking themselves, what did I do, or what, why did I attract this into my life? What could I have done in the past to have attracted this into my life? And then what lessons do I need to learn from this experience? Boom, bro. That shit changes everything for you. Everything. If you face challenges just like that, every single challenge in your life, like the amount of stress you're going to experience in your life is going to reduce significantly. Not just that, you're going to learn lessons because here's something that happens, and this is true with universal law. If you don't learn your lesson, you're going to get stuck in this loop. Okay? It's called a loop. There's a movie called Loopers, but it has nothing to do with this. Loop. You get stuck in this loop. Say something happens to you, and the law of relativity is, hey, you have to learn a lesson from here, and you don't learn your lesson, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to go ahead and face that challenge again, and it's going to manifest in a very different way. I saw it with my father as a good example, right? He struggled with money his entire life, never learning lessons about money, never learning anything about how to earn money, how to invest money. Eventually, he lost his contractor's license. His house was foreclosed on. He was living in his car in the streets of LA with his dog. His dog ran away. He got into assisted living by the government out there. He was living in this apartment, um, surrounded by a bunch of people who were drug addicts. He got addicted to methamphetamine. He started smoking methamphetamine. He lost his teeth, right? Now, my sister has took him in. He lives on her property. She bought a mobile home for him. He lives there, and he's away from that. And I saw him the other day, well, probably about a month ago, and it was good seeing him. You know, my dad's 80 years old, maybe a little older. I don't know. And he never ended up learning about money. And it led him down this hole, you know? You get stuck in this loop. Do not get stuck in loops. Learn your lessons. When shit happens to you, stop blaming everybody and be like, okay, ask smart questions, intelligent questions like, why is this happening to me is not a good question. Oh God, why is this always happening to me? Don't ask that stupid question. Ask, what can I learn from this? What did I do to attract this into my life? You know? And what more importantly, what can I learn from this experience so I can break the loop? That is the way you want to live your life. Okay. The circumstances in your life have all been created by you. All right. They originate from the self. More specifically, from your subconscious beliefs. Okay. Because what you manifest into your life is exactly what you believe you deserve at a subconscious level. But Rick, I don't want to have an unhealthy body. I don't want to be struggling financially. Well, I know you don't want that, but subconsciously, that's what you believe you deserve. So that's exactly what you manifest. So start fixing your subconscious. There is no other way. Okay? One thing that happens when you blame other people, hey, the reason I am where I am financially is because of the rich. The rich have all the money and they took it away from the poor. And that's, you know what you're saying there? This is what that statement implies. Let me clarify. You're saying that the reason you're poor is because of the rich. Got it. Now, you know what that implies? It implies that in order for you to fix poverty, your poverty, the rich have to fix it for you. That's what you're saying. Because you're giving all the power to the rich. If it's their fault that you're poor, that means that they need to fix it in order for you not to be poor anymore. Good luck with that. You just gave all your power away, which means that you can't change it. Someone else has to change it for you. How convenient is that, right? To not take any responsibility for your financial situation. You don't want to be that person anymore, right? You don't want to be like that. You need to take the responsibility. The 12 universal laws state it's your responsibility. The 12 universal laws state that everything you've created in your life is exactly what you believe you deserve, exactly what you manifested at a subconscious level. This is why I focus so much on the subconscious. If you fix your subconscious beliefs, where all the limitations are for you, you start overcoming these limitations and believing that you're worthy and you're more of these you're beyond these limitations. You start breaking your limits. Then you start really changing your life. You take the responsibility. Don't blame yourself. Oh, great, my subconscious beliefs are sabotaging me. No, that's not the way to do it either. Okay, I have this belief that's keeping me from creating wealth for myself and for my family. I need to freaking fix that shit. I need to fix it now, right? That's responsibility, people. That's responsibility. If you can understand that, that changes everything for you. So start doing that for yourself. Okay? Really, I'm like, I mean it. Start fixing that for yourself. You need to do it. All right. So that was the biggest point I really needed to hit with this, because a lot of us get caught up with this stuff. Right. Now, I think the other point I wanted to make about these 12 universal laws, there are no exceptions to these laws. This is my next point, because this is a very powerful point, especially in the society that we live in right now. So these 12 universal laws, there are no exceptions. There are no exceptions, okay? Like I said, if these laws are true, if these 12 universal laws are true, then what I'm saying is true to you. That everything you manifested into your life is exactly what you believe you deserve at a subconscious level. You have created all of this in your life, okay? No one's created it for you, okay? No one, except for yourself, all right? And it's not so to blame yourself or feel sorry for yourself or any of that stuff. It's to realize that the power is inside of you. You have the power to change your life, okay? The 12 universal laws state that, and there are no exceptions to these laws. Now, it's not like, well, okay, these laws are true, but If you're a person that grew up in this part of the world, well, that's different. These 12 universal laws do not apply to you. No, there are no exceptions. And the reason there are no exceptions is because if there were exceptions, right? They had exceptions, right? If we had exceptions, my question for you is what exactly are those exceptions? What exactly are those exceptions? Okay. What exactly are they? You need to state them clearly because it's not like, oh, well, they're all, yeah, because, with this person, because of their skin color, they can't be successful. Yeah, okay, but here's this person over here, same skin color, and they're successful. So, boom, that doesn't work. Oh, but it's different for them. Okay, why? Explain to me. Come on, give me a good reason. Give me a good argument. Where? And they can't, and they never will. Why? Because there are no exceptions, period. We manifest into our life exactly what we believe at a subconscious level, and that's it. The second you start understanding this, the second you realize the power you possess, and this is what I want for you. Take control, especially for next year. 2024 is going to be a booming ass year for real estate. And if you're positioned correctly, properly with your business, but more importantly, with your psychology, with your beliefs, you're going to make a lot of money. And I need you guys to believe this, okay? That's why these 12 universal laws are so freaking powerful. They're so powerful. The law of cause and effect, which is the law that I really focus on more than anything, it states that everything you do in this world, everything you put out into the world comes back to you. So don't criticize people. Every action has a consequence. It says it right here, every action has a consequence, okay? Don't criticize people because that criticism comes right back to you. Do not hurt other people. Do not use them. Do not betray them. All right? Don't do any of that stuff to other people because you're going to have to then experience that yourself through lessons. And the law of relativity states that you're going to have to now go through experiences where you're going to have to learn lessons where you don't do this to people anymore. All right? More specifically, the law of oneness, right? Everything is connected, states that as you hurt other people, you're really hurting yourself, right? You see how all of these are connected? As you help other people, right? As you, for instance, take 10% of what you make and donate, and you're helping organizations that help other people, and you know that you're contributing, the law of compensation states that we are rewarded for right actions. We are rewarded for the right actions. We are rewarded for right actions. So the more good you do, the more good you receive. And the law of divine oneness states that everything is connected. So as you help other people, you're really helping yourself. These laws, people, they're freaking all over the place. And I need you to see it. Live by these laws, study these things, okay? Make it something that's second nature for you. So when you start seeing things happening to you and happening to other people, you see it through these laws. You see it through the eyes of understanding that the universe is governed by these universal laws, and there are no exceptions. There are no exceptions. That is what I need you guys to really see. Check out here, the law of rhythm. We talked about the market, right? It goes up and down and up and down. This is a rhythm, isn't it? You see rhythms in on the earth with seasons, right? You have spring, and then you have summer, and then you have fall, then you have winter, and then there's this rhythm, the cycle. Women, you go through a called a menstrual cycle. It's a rhythm, right? The moon goes through its cycles. There's a rhythm. The sun even goes through cycles, right? It goes through winter solstice to spring equinox to summer solstice to fall equinox to winter solstice and back. What does that mean? Winter solstice means that at least for the northern hemisphere, the sun is further south, right? And then when the spring equinox is when the sun is now crossing the equator and getting into the northern hemisphere. And then for summer equinox is when the sun is the furthest north. And then when it goes to fall equinox is when the sun is crossing crossing the equator going into the southern hemisphere. And then winter solstice is when the sun is further south, right? Cycles. They're all over the freaking place, right? Wow, amazing. We talk about polarity, right? Plus and minus, masculine and feminine, night and day, sun and moon, right? Cycle. These are all polarity, the opposites. There are two sides to everything. Two sides to everything. Even with emotions, when you have emotions like excitement, excite. The opposite of emotion to excitement is nervous, right? If you just adjust yourself just a little bit, you can turn nervousness into excitement because they're the same energies but opposite, you know. And so you can flip it because there's an opposite emotion to every emotion that we have, and they're just frequencies, right? Okay, whew, bro. Um, so I'm gonna get into this last section just to cover a few more sections. We have about a half hour left. I'm gonna just open it to any questions or comments that you guys want to put in about anything we talked about so far. Does anybody have anything they want to like kind of chime in, or maybe a question you may have before I get into the next section? Okay, never mind. No, it's all good. So here, let's talk about a couple of other little strategies you can add to your indexes here, okay? Let me see, I have all these different ones. 12 universal laws. Oh yeah, this one. So you're gonna wanna create a list of your values and your standards, okay? This is the list of mine. So my standards, and then my philosophies and my values, okay? So I'm gonna just cover these kind of thoroughly, kind of explaining each, why I believe this, and give you an idea of what you can do for yourself when it comes down to this, okay? So, right, my standards, right? So I do the best I can in everything I do in life. I do the best I can in everything I do in life. I lived up to this standard. I do my best to live up to the standard. Sometimes I'm not perfect. That's fine. I make mistakes. That's fine. But I have a standard where I do the best I can in everything I do in life. Okay. When I do something, I do my best to focus 100% on that. We talked about hyper focus. I try to be focused on the task at hand. Right now, I'm focused on this presentation. I'm not focused on anything else. So I have 100% focused here. I immerse myself, right? Immerse yourself. I immerse myself with this information. I immerse myself with this presentation. I'm here, immersed, focused 100%. I have fun with it, right? Have fun with whatever you do in life. Have some fun with it. Have some fun with it, because the truth is, life is short. Have fun with life. Have fun with the things you do. Okay, right? Enjoy what you're doing. Learn and grow. Right? Learn and grow. Whatever I'm doing, I'm always learning and growing. I don't feel like I have the answer to everything, but so I'm always open to learning and growing and improving myself and getting better at what I do. Right? I'm patient and calm. I'm patient with myself and I have a calm mind. You don't want to be the type of person who's like always like kind of stressed and overworking yourself, right? I do kind of overwork myself, but I don't do it in a way where that's harmful to me. At least I don't think I do. So, but you have to be patient with yourself. If you're learning and growing, if you're kind of like still mastering you're mastering the skills that you want to learn, or your trade, then be patient, okay? And also be calm. Many times we get very impatient with ourselves. I say it with Bryson sometimes. He wants to like know something like right away. And if he doesn't know it, it's like, I'm like, Bryson, calm down, bro. Like, relax, breathe, right? It takes time to learn how to get good at this. You already know this, bro. And so, and then be in the proper state of mind. Be in the proper state of mind. Everything. So if you really want to do the best you possibly can in life, be in that proper state of mind. What is that? Like, you should get yourself excited when you're going to be doing any task. This is why the hyper focus strategy or technique that I talked about, I always give 5 minutes to prepare myself. I did 5 minutes to prepare myself for this presentation here. Okay, what am I going to talk about? How do I want to present this? How do I want to do that? Like, I just took those 5 minutes just to kind of like put myself in the proper state of mind, right? Because if I'm not in the proper state of mind, how can I execute at my best? I can't, right? And you know this. You know, you can't execute at your best if you're not in the proper state of mind, if you're not fully focused and immersed, if you're not enjoying yourself, if you hate what you do, dude, you're not gonna be fully immersed and focused on it. You're not gonna give it your best if you don't enjoy it, right? And if you're not willing to learn and grow and be patient and calm with yourself, you're never going to be able to execute at the best that you can. Okay. So that's my first standard. And then the next one here is that I always live in abundance of love, wealth, health, energy, passion, happiness, knowledge, and wisdom. I want to live by these, you know? I want to live in that abundance of love and wealth and health, energy, passion, happiness, knowledge, and wisdom. This is how I want to live day in and day out. This is a standard that I have for myself, you know? And I think when I live this way, I'm living at my fullest, right? This is a standard that I have. Here's another standard. I am an admired and loved figure. People are influenced by me and look up to me. I am a role model. So I want to live this way, you know? I want people to admire me. I want people to look up to me and respect me. Now, this is not an ego thing that I want. I want to do it because I've earned it. That's why, you know? I want to get to this point because I've earned it and because I live this way. People see that I live a certain way that they admire. That's, to me, that means I am aligned with my standards, right? If people admire me for the way I live, that means that I am living to those up to those standards, and it's a kind of a confirmation for me that I'm living this way, you know? Next one, I am always presentable and clean. So yes, I am always presentable. My space is always presentable. My things, I keep my things presentable and clean. I want to live up to this standard, you know? I don't want to have a messy office. I don't want to have dirty things. I don't want to have dirty clothes, right? I want to have nice things. And so I need to be presentable. I need to be clean. My area, my space, my things need to be presentable and clean. My car and things like that, because it's a reflection of me. So I always stand up for what I believe, but I do it in a graceful manner, right? Standing up for what you believe, I wasn't really good at this for the longest time. I was kind of like the quiet one. I just kind of shine away from any conflict. I don't like conflict, but I know there's at times I'm going to have to stand up for what I believe. But when I do it, I don't want to do it in an aggressive, violent way, because I think a lot of people do it that way. I specify I want to do it in a graceful manner. You know, I want to do it intelligently. I want to do it I want to be articulate when I speak, right? And when I stand up for what I believe. Next one. Let me move this. I always live sustainably by being loving to the earth, nature, organic, etc. Right? So this word sustainable. I mean, we don't live in a sustainable society because we don't treat, you know, our land the way it's supposed to be treated to cultivate food. It's drenched with pesticides and a bunch of other stuff that's terrible for us. But you know, if once I do start growing my own stuff, I want to do it in a very sustainable way, in a very organic and natural way as well, you know. And I want to live by other areas of my life by this way as well. I want to, like, for instance, like products that I use for like my face or my to wash my body and things like that. I want it to be organic and natural and stuff like that because there's so many chemicals they put into everything, you know, that throw off your hormones and things like that. I mean, whew, I didn't get to cover it when we covered health, but I'm gonna do a presentation one day about that stuff, and you're gonna be surprised by how they've infiltrated everything, even our clothes. Okay, the clothes you wear. So that's for another time. The next one, I am a man of integrity. I always do what I say or plan to do. I accomplish my goals. Okay, I'm a man of integrity. I accomplish my goals. I do what I say I'm going to do. If I make a promise, I'll need to keep that promise. Why? Because I want to be the type of man that is. Because if not, then people don't trust you, right? If you're going to continue promising stuff and you don't deliver, then people are going to lose confidence in you. And I don't want to be that person whose people are continuously see me as like someone who doesn't keep his word. So I am a man of integrity. So I have to live by the standard, right? All my actions are selfless. I do not care for the fruits of my action. I only care for the good and help make this world a better place for all, right? This is just a thing that I want to disattach myself from material things in this world. And it's a standard that I want to live by. And now here's the next one. It kind of connects to that one. If fruits are consequences of my actions, then I will accept them with deep gratitude and share them with the world, right? So if I really put my actions into play and I receive a lot of, say, wealth and money from it, I'll accept it and I'll be very grateful for it. But I will also do my best to share it with the world by maybe through donations, or maybe if it's knowledge, I share that knowledge with people, wisdom, and so forth and so on, right? So I am an instrument of God always. I am committed to Kanai, constant and never-ending improvement, right? So these are just some standards that I've set up for myself that I do my best to live by, okay? And then I have my philosophies and my values. So you have standards to live by, but then you have values to live by as well. Now, values and standards, the truth is, for the longest time, I was very confused what the difference was between these two. I was like, just like what's the difference? Like, what really is the difference? Standards are things that you're going to have to like live by, the actions you're going to be taking. Now, the values are going to be very similar too, but they're going to be slightly different. They're more philosophical. They're more based on my belief system. Now, are they connected? Absolutely, they're connected. There is no real separation between anything, but there's a slight differentiation between the two, okay? Meaning that my values are mostly based on beliefs as opposed to based on how I'm supposed to live my life, even though my beliefs do dictate how I live my life as well. So here's the first one. I do more for others than you. So do more for others than you would have them do for you. Do more for others than you would have them do for you. So you have the golden rule, and then this is like the platinum rule that I came across. I learned this from a company that I used to work with. Because Jesus states that do unto others as you would like them, as you would like to have done unto you, right? So treat other people the way you want to be treated. That's how it works, right? But this one goes a little further. It says do more for others than you would have them do for you. Do more for them. And if you live by this, you're always going to be taken care of. The universal laws of compensation will always ensure that you're receiving in your life, okay? Here's the next one. Don't try to be better than anybody else, but don't ever cease trying to be the best that you can be. Don't ever try to be better than anybody else, but don't ever cease trying to be the best that you can be. I love this quote, by the way. This is a quote by John Wooden. This guy, I talked about this guy before. This guy was the basketball coach for the UCLA Bruins during the late 80s and 90s and early 90s. This guy had 15, total of 16 championships, but 15 of those were consecutive, meaning that for 15 years, year after year after year after year, for 15 years, they won the championship at college basketball, which is incredibly competitive, by the way, incredibly competitive. That is incredible. And this guy never talked about winning. And this guy never talked about competition. This is his quote. Don't try to be better than anybody else, but don't ever cease trying to be the best that you can be. And I've talked about this before. It's pointless for you to compare yourself to other people. Why would you do that? If you guys have equal potential, boundless potential, why would you compare yourself to another person? The only difference between you and them is how much of that potential you tapping into. And how much of the potential you tap into is dependent on you, not anybody else. So what's the point of comparing yourself to somebody else? It doesn't help you tap into more of your potential. Maybe it'll push you a little bit to try to be better than them, but there's always going to be someone better. So don't try to be better than them. Compete with yourself. Try to be better than who you used to be. And that changes your life. And the best in the world just like this guy right here, John Wooden, do exactly that, okay? Never say or think bad of anybody or anything. Always send love and good wishes to every person and thing, whether they've done good or bad to you. This still connects to the laws, the 12 universal laws, right? Because everything you do comes back to you. So this is a value that I live by. If you listen to me, I'm not criticizing other people, right? I may analyze people and try to understand them, but the criticism, no, I rarely ever do it. And I catch myself, I'm like, why am I saying this? Shut up, Rick. You're stupid. And that's it. I just shut up. I just shut myself up because I don't want to be saying negative things about other people. The next one, handle every negative thought. Every negative thought and every negative emotion are opportunities to grow. Okay. Call to action. It's a call to action. This is a strategy I'll be covering another time. Love is always surrounding us and always with us. Love is always surrounding us and always with us. Love is always surrounding us and always with us. Love. You can replace it with God if you wanted to, right? The next one is the best is yet to come. This is a very powerful affirmation, something that I state every day. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Your life continues to get better. Like it's not like your life isn't like you peak and then all of a sudden your life is downhill from there. That's a lot of people believe this is life. This is your life. You're going, boom, boom. You peak and then downhill. No, I don't believe in that. And you shouldn't either. That sounds terrible. What if you've already peaked? Then the rest of your life from this point on is downhill? Yeah, that's stupid. I don't know where we came up with that. The best is yet to come means that your life continues to get better and better and better and better every year, every day, every month, every decade. It just gets better. That's what I believe. There's always a way. Just surrender to faith. It's all in God's hands. Faith is probably one of the most difficult things you guys will ever have to learn, ever. But it's also one of the most important lessons you must learn. Without faith, you worry. And if you're always worried, you're stressed. And if you're always stressed, your body begins to become ill and imbalanced with its energies. And it causes illness. Surrendering to faith and putting it all in God's hands, look, it means that you still need to do what you got to do, right? Do everything you possibly can. And at one point, you're going to have to all right, there you go. God, it's up to you, bro. Do your thing. I trust you, and then that's it. If you can do that, that's awesome, right? But most of us can't do it. And we stress. We're like, oh my God, hopefully it goes through. Please, I need this paycheck. Plus, we need to close this. I don't know if the loan's going to go through. Like with our industry, whew, right? We can stress a lot. You have to have faith to set a certain point. And it's like a muscle you develop. Faith is like a muscle you develop over the years. Nothing in life has any meaning except the meaning you give it. This one's a good one too. That's a lot of good ones here, bro. I like it. So anyways, nothing has any meaning except the meaning you give it. Nothing in life has any meaning except the meaning that you give it. Okay? Now, say for instance, you're driving and you get hit by a car, right? The meaning could be like, whatever you give it, you could be like pissed off and upset. Why does this always happen? Why does this have to happen to me? Like you're just, pissed. And so the meaning you're giving it is like, this is a terrible, terrible thing that happened to me. Terrible thing. And it pisses you off and you're upset and whatever. But you can change the meaning though, because nothing in life has any meaning except the meaning you give it. You know what I do many times when I hit traffic? Instead of getting upset, and then I'm passing by an accident, I'm like, well, what's good about this is the fact that I wasn't in that accident, right? Or I know there's been a few times where an accident occurs like just right in front of us. And then as we pass by, and what's interesting is that we were delayed by a couple of things, like I forgot this in the car, or I forgot and had to go get it. It was in the restaurant, and we killed a few more minutes, and we were already in a hurry to go, and then we're driving, and all of a sudden we see an accident to the side. I'm like, damn, if we were maybe on time, that could have been us in that accident, right? And so you see that how I'm just giving it a different meaning. Like I don't have to give it the meaning. You're like, I'm being late or delayed, and this sucks and it's terrible and I'm stressed. Okay, I'm being late and delayed, but there's a reason for it. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe it's a good reason. Maybe it's to protect me. Maybe it's to protect me and my family, right? And so give it good meanings. I mean, because nothing has any meaning except the meaning you give it anyways. So just give it a powerful meaning yourself. This is you controlling your thoughts, you controlling your emotions, right? So he who wins is he who believes he can and who overcomes fear. He who wins is he who believes he can and overcomes fear, right? To win, you have to believe you're going to win, right? It's not just going to happen on accident. You manifest everything into your life. What keeps us from winning many times is because we're so afraid. We're afraid we're going to lose. We're focused more on losing than we are on winning. And then as a result, since we're so focused on losing, we lose, right? So he he who wins is he who believes he can and whoever overcomes fear. You have to overcome that fear. Fear is very destructive if you live in it. Fear can help you, can serve you, and assist in you in preparation. But after that, you have to kind of let it go, right? Your mind is the conductor of the grand symphony, which is your body, your life, your future. Your mind is the conductor of the grand symphony, which is your body, your mind, and your future. Your mind is the conductor. Whatever you think about is going to dictate the things in your life and your future and everything. Your mind, your mind, your mind, your mind, your mind, right? This grand symphony, which is your body, your life, your future. Now here's the next one. It kind of connects to that one. You train not only your mind in the habits of thoughts, but your body in the habits of action. You train not only your mind in the habit of thoughts, but your body in the habit of actions. And this training of the body is at a cellular level. It is through this how you modify your DNA. What's interesting about DNA and the genes that we have, there's some genes that are set, like say your skin color, hair color, things like that. But there's other genes that are inside of you that are not set, that are not fixed, and you can turn them on and off. So you can turn on genes and turn off genes depending on the environment that you're creating or the environment that you're in. And that's your environment that you create within your own body. What do you mean? Well, there's genes that actually turn on that make you store fat, right? But then you can turn off those genes and turn on other genes that can help you burn fat faster or build muscle or whatever else. So there's other genes, that are in there, right? Even some genes that are connected to your behavior. And so right here, you train not only your mind in the habit of thought, but your body in the habit of action. And this training of the body is at a cellular level, right? It is through this how you modify your DNA. Say you want to wake up at 4 in the morning every day. This is an example. Eventually, as you do it so many times in the beginning, it's really, 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 really hard because you're not used to it. But eventually, you just automatically wake up 4 in the morning. You don't even need the alarm. You're waking up like at 3:59, right before the alarm goes off. You're like, you open your eyes, you look at the time, 3:59. Huh, interesting. My body woke me up. I wonder why. Maybe it's because at a cellular level, you can train your body. And the answer is yes, of course. Next one. Know that you will always have more than enough. God always provides. There's always more than enough. There's abundance in this world. God always provides. God always provides, especially if you're living in a state of giving, 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 and providing, providing, providing. Okay, understand that. Always do your best with the resources available to you. You have resources available to you. Do your best with them. Okay, you're a real estate agent. You have certain resources available to you. I'm a resource. Use me as a resource. Take advantage of these resources. Always do your best with the resources available to you. You have social media. You have marketing. You have TikTok. These are resources. Are you using them to the best of your ability? Use them. Be more resourceful with your emotions. Be more resourceful with your emotions. Emotions drive actions. If you control your emotions and you can get yourself in a state of excitement and enthusiasm and positivity and optimism and passion, dude, that's being resourceful with your emotions. And you can really accomplish a lot more than feeling low and down and lazy and exhausted and defeated and disappointed and sad and guilty and frustrated. Those emotions aren't resourceful emotions, okay? They don't drive you to action. Next one. I am an unreasonably happy man. I don't need a reason to be happy. I took this quote from a book called The Peaceful Warrior. It's a novel about this kid in Berkeley. I'm not sure if it's based on the true story, but he was a gymnast, like a world-class gymnast, and he shattered his leg. And then he came across this man who became his mentor. Is amazing story. And this quote just really stuck out for me. I'm an unreasonably happy man. I don't need a reason to be happy, right? Many people, they're happy because they're only happy when when the circumstances in their life are perfectly aligned with what they want, right? But if they're not happy. And when are the circumstances in your life perfectly aligned with what you want? Almost never. So as a result, you're never happy. But if you don't need a reason to be happy, you can be happy all the time. And last one, fear destroys, love creates. These are the two emotions, right? We live in the dichotomy, the plus and minus, black and white, day and night, sun and moon. Fear is destructive, love creates. Okay, you have these two emotions. All emotions all negative emotions are rooted to fear. All positive emotions are rooted to love. Okay, this is how life works. All right. With that being said, I know that was a lot. I'm ending it here. Do any of you, I know it's just you, Jules and Kia. Do you guys have any questions or comments before I'll let you guys go and I end this video?
No, that was
Um,
amazing.
go ahead.
No, you go. I'm good.
No, I paid attention. Shit, it's like, cause, like you said, when we're not taught as children how to learn with finances and deal with that type of stuff, how are we gonna know to apply that in our adult lives? So looking into our investments and making sure our money is always on the move and growing. Here, hold on, let me take out a few of my kids out of my room. It's like between them and the construction, it's like, damn, come on, you guys. But no, great information. Definitely something I will be looking into when it comes to growing my money. Not letting it stay still. And me and my husband fight all the time about savings because I don't feel like a poor man is able to save. It's like, how do we do that? It's like you want to save $300, but we need 600 for our light bill. Seriously? It's like it's no way that could happen. Maybe if we did or had $1,200 and used but you gotta, it's just one of those things. And I never could understand that savings. So to hear poor people are taught to save money and rich people are taught to invest in their money, it's like even little quotes like that, you know what I'm saying? I feel are helpful because now I don't feel crazy and dumb when I'm, literally being combated with the total different information. So it's like, see, Kia, you are right. And I, of course, love to be right. So I win. No, it was just very helpful, very useful information today. So, and out of all the days, today was one of the days I really wanted to be on to make sure I was paying attention to that and my spirituality day. Those were two of the best days of the whole week for me. The whole week was great, by the way, Ricardo. Very helpful from Monday to today. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And that's a lot of love. So well done, kiddo. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do.
Absolutely.
No, well, I'm happy that you found it to be useful, especially with the finances. I think it's a thing we all struggle with, I don't think any of us really come from a family of like a privileged family or a family of like a lot of wealth. And so, if you don't, then it's most likely you don't know this stuff. So,
Mhm.
but no, I'm happy you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go ahead and end this now. Stop recording.